Hi, it's Scott from milevalue.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use maybe the most valuable resource on this website, the Mile Value Calculator. Alright, so we're sitting here on the home page of milevalue.com, which I assume is your home page, and the calculator can be found at the top of every page right here. So here's the calculator. There's 4 fields: ticket value, tickets, taxes and fees paid, miles used, and miles foregone. I'm going to talk about each one of these fields in turn. So we're going to start with ticket value, and for 2 of the examples I'm going to give, I'm going to go back to my very first post, How Much a Frequent Flyer Miles Worth, a guide, which if you haven't read you really should, and we're going to do the first 2 examples here. So the very first example is Bill is flying one way to Pittsburgh to propose to his girlfriend. So the ticket value field is the lesser of how much you value the ticket and how much the ticket is being sold for. So the reason why we have to put the lesser of those 2 amounts is that it's unfair to, when you're calculating how many cents per mile you're getting on an award, to go with the list price, especially if you're flying international first class and the list price is $10,000. If you would never pay $10,000 for the ticket, you can't put in $10,000 as the value of the award to figure out your cents per miles. A lot of people would like to do that to inflate their cents per mile, but it's intellectually dishonest. So we're going to put the lesser of how much we valued the ticket and how much it's being sold for. So in my stylized example, Bill is flying to Pittsburgh to propose to his girlfriend, so he values the ticket at $5,000 because he really wants to get to Pittsburgh to do it. But the ticket's being sold for $200. So the lesser of 200 and 5,000, we're going to plug in 200 as the value of the ticket. Next is taxes and fees paid. So that is just what is being charged to your credit card when you book the award. We're going to assume Bill's pretty savvy here and that he's going to go to United.com to book this award instead of calling up over the phone. So if he goes to United.com, he's only going to have to pay $2.50 in taxes and fees. And then miles used is how many miles you're paying for the ticket. A one-way Saver award on United is $12,500. I don't know if I mentioned, the reason why he's flying United is because that's the only airline that has a direct flight between LAX and Pittsburgh. And then miles foregone. Now this is another very important field. So you can't just calculate, you can't just say, well, I've saved $197.50 by booking this award and I've used 12,500 miles, so each mile is worth $197.50 over 12,500. No. There's another cost that is hidden. So economics defines a cost as anything you give up to acquire something else. And in this case, if you're going to book the award with miles instead of buying the ticket with cash, you're giving up the miles you would have earned by flying the paid ticket, the butt-in-seat miles, as some call them. So to figure out how many miles you were foregoing, you need to go right here to the great circle mapper, gcmap.com, and just type in the route. He's going to fly the direct Pittsburgh to LAX. Click distance, and so while it's coming up, I'll say, don't forget that the miles you've forgone are not only how long the flight is. If you have status on the airline, you're foregoing even more by booking an award, because if you have status, there's a status multiplier for how many miles you earn on a paid ticket. So Pittsburgh to LAX, or LAX to Pittsburgh, is 2,136 miles. So that's how many he's foregoing. And if you calculate, it runs it and spits it out on the same page, and you see that he's getting about 1.35 cents per mile. So not very good, since I value United miles at 1.81 cents. But that's how many he got for that redemption. So in fact, what Bill should have done is come to the mile value calculator, figured out he would only get 1.35 cents per mile for that redemption, and say, you know what, I'm going to hold on to those miles to fly to Europe or somewhere where I'd get a lot more value out of them. So let's run through another example. Jacqueline lives in San Francisco and decides at the last second to go to Atlanta to watch the ACC basketball tournament. On the way, she wants to stop in Minneapolis to visit family, and she's using Delta, where you can get free stopovers even on domestic flights. So her routing is going to be San Francisco to Minneapolis, stop there, to Atlanta, stop there, and back to San Francisco. Since this is the last second, the ticket costs $1,213, but she's not that big of a fan of basketball, and she sees her family often enough, so she doesn't value the ticket that highly. She values it at $450. So again, we have to plug in the lesser of the value and the cost. In the last example, cost was lower. In this example, the value is lower. The value is almost always lower. My value of my awards is almost always lower than the cost of the awards, because so many of my awards are in international first class or business class, which cost thousands of dollars, but I don't value the award nearly that highly. So this is an example where we go with the value, which is lower than the cost. Taxes and fees paid on that, it's 3 domestic segments, so it's just $750. And then the miles used, round trip domestic flight, is $25,000. And then the miles foregone, again we go to the Great Circle Mapper, and we type in the itinerary. And check it out. I think in this example, yeah, Jacqueline is a Delta Diamond Medallion flyer, so she would earn a 125% mileage bonus on her miles flown if she had purchased the ticket with cash. So we find out that it's 4,634 miles, but we need to multiply that by her bonus. She's going to earn 2.25 miles for every mile actually flown, so it's going to be 10,427 miles is how many she's foregoing. Since she's a Delta Diamond member, calculate. She's getting 1.25 cents per mile. Again, not great, although she is flying Delta, so not the worst redemption I've ever seen either. So those are 2 examples. I hope that they explain how to use the calculator, and I hope you now understand how to use all 4 fields of the calculator. I'll say that the best use is probably whenever you are thinking about booking an award and you don't know whether to book it with cash or with miles, come to the calculator, plug in your value of the ticket, how much you'd have to pay in taxes and fees, how many miles you would use, how many miles you're foregoing if you book an award, and have it spit out the cents per mile. And if the cents per mile is lower than you'd like to get with your miles, don't book it with miles, book it with cash. But if the cents per mile is really good, then it's a great award, book it with miles. Alright. Hit me up at milevalue@gmail.com if you have any questions, or on Twitter @milevalue. Thanks for watching.